time to help my staff prepare for tonight's important meeting with our parents and our students and our staff here at the high school. Yesterday morning, the unspeakable tragedy occurred at Freeman High School. I speak for the entire Freeman family in sending our sincere thoughts and prayers out to the family of our student lost that day and to the injured students and their families. I cannot thank the Freeman School District staff and the students and the parents enough for the manner in which they responded to the situation. Cooperation, courage, patience, and support of others helped us get through the day and assure our students got home safely, and it will also help us in the future. Additionally, law enforcement and first responders showed exceptional professionalism, and I really want to tell them how much I appreciate all the help that we got as a school district. They embraced a duty that no one ever really wants to have to take on, and they did it very courageously. Our entire Freeman family is grateful for the work that all of them did for us. In addition to the support of law enforcement, first responders, local school districts, and many others in the Spokane community and the state, we also got a tremendous amount of assistance from a West Side school district, folks from the Marysville-Pilchuck school district who had been through this before, and they have been a tremendous support and help for us as a district. I'm really grateful to live where I do and in this community and work, and I don't even really call it work, it's more serving as the superintendent. And I know that our Freeman family, our community, will move forward. It was a tough day, but you know what? We'll make it work. We'll make it work for kids. That's what we always do in Freeman. However, it would not certainly be without a serious amount of grievance for the loss of our students and their family. My heart goes out to them. And, we have a lot of pride in Freeman. Pride, commitment, and caring is kind of our standby, I guess, for our district, and that's what we're going to stay with. So some good news. I just returned back just within an hour from Sacred Heart Hospital. I was able to connect with our 3 students that were there, see them with my own eyes, be able to talk with them, be able to touch base with parents and grandparents, and I saw a lot of other Freeman students and family members that were there. It was great to see them. This morning I met with the Freeman staff so we could share kind of some thoughts and just some support for each other, and they're hurting. Certainly, they're really hurting. And I'm just really proud of the staff at Freeman. I love them, and they know I love them, and I know they love the kids, and that was obvious this morning. I also want to just re-emphasize that we have a lot of support that's available for not only our students and our staff, but also their families. We've got counseling support across the region and state, and I really encourage all of our students, staff, family, and anybody in the community that was affected by this to take advantage of the support that's available for them, so we can help them move forward. We've made a decision to reopen school on Monday. We're going to let our parents and students know that tonight. There was a lot of thought that went into making that decision, and I appreciated that we have such caring people that took a look at what that would look like for our kids, and they kept their kids at the forefront of that decision. So that's what we're going to do for Monday. We're working very closely with the Sheriff's Department and other law enforcement agencies, and have openly provided any and all information they requested in order to proceed with their investigation, and we will continue to do so with anything that they need. I think our full cooperation is exactly what we can help providing to local law enforcement. However, as you know, there are some policies and some procedures, and the district is bound by those privacy laws that protect student information, and it protects certain things. And so there are several questions that you may have that I'm not going to be able to answer. And I appreciate that you're doing your job, I'll let you do that. You let me do my job, which is to take care of the students and the staff here. But I won't be answering any questions at all that have to do with anything that has to do with the students involved or what the district did or did not do in regards to that process. What I can say is that if the district receives information that indicates a student might be a danger either to himself or others, our protocol is to make contact with the parents, to have the student undergo a mental health evaluation, and to establish that the student is not a threat to himself, herself, or anyone else before they are returning back to school. The district does not employ any mental health professionals here in Freeman, and we must rely on the expertise of those who are trained in that field. Again, we cannot answer any specific questions about what occurred in this situation. So I just really appreciate if you didn't put me in that spot, because all I'm going to tell you is I can't answer that question due to FERPA. It is the district's absolute highest priority to keep kids safe, and we remain committed to that goal. Again, we're all hurting, we're grieving, we hope that the media and the outside group will respect, the privacy of not only the victims but also their families, and the friends. We're a close-knit group here in Freeman. We take care of each other, we look out for each other, and I would just ask that you could help be part of that healing process by how you handle things out in the media. With regards to tonight's meeting, it'll initially be open to all the media over here at the high school, and we're going to respectfully ask that you only bring in a photographer because the speaker's on stage, and we don't want to interfere with anything that's happening on there. I'm asking that you don't interview any of our kids, please. Don't interview any of the parents or the staff. If you have a question, I'll do my best to answer it. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you I don't know the answer. I'll look into it and I'll get back to you. After the update at the very beginning, I'll ask all of you to please leave, because I would like to have some time for our staff to be with our kids and our parents so we can talk about what are those next steps that we need to do to go through the healing process. So with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have. Okay, hearing none.
Can you talk about Joe Bowen yesterday?
Yes, Joe Bowen, our amazing custodian at the high school. He's a Army or a military server for us as a country, veteran. Thank you, Travis. And he is a true hero. He is an absolute true hero. He knows the kids, he loves the kids, and he was one of the very first people that were there. And I have no doubt in my mind that Joe Bowen was a big reason why things weren't worse than they actually turned out. And I know he's hurting as well, but I'm just very, very thankful to have Joe Bowen on our staff.
Have you had a chance to speak to him at all?
I have. I saw him this morning. Yeah, checked in with him. He was here for our staff meeting, and he's struggling like we all are, and he's just doing the best he can.
Superintendent, there's some questions that are circulating about some potential staff members that may have had some information prior to the incident that we don't know what could have prevented one. But if you learn of any information that may have played a role in possibly preventing this, what are the steps that you would take as superintendent?
Yeah, well, since we're under an investigation, obviously the law enforcement officials will continue to do everything that they can to get all that information, and we'll collaborate with them and cooperate with them in any way we can.
The sheriff mentioned the school resource officer who was here and also assisted in that arrest. Can you talk to me a little bit about his role in this?
He did, yeah. Deputy Ron Nye is a student school resource officer. He works at both Liberty and Freeman. And fortunately for us and our students and staff, he was on campus. He rotates between the campuses, works with both school districts, and he was here. He was one of the first people on site, and we're lucky we have Ron, and our thoughts go out to him because he's going through a grieving process as well, having to be one of the first people there. But he's also another hero for us. But a lot of heroes that day, students and staff.
What have you learned from Marysville so far? What kind of input have they been able to inform you in terms of decision making and how you meet the needs for students?
Well, they have been amazing. They brought an entire team, including their superintendent. What we've learned from them is that there is a process that other school districts, unfortunately, have had to go through, and they have been holding our hands. I told our staff, it's like the older brother having to take the younger brother or sister with them for a walk, and they've been with us, and we have learned a lot. We've asked a lot of tough questions, or have learned a lot of things, and we've been able to ask tough questions, and they've been able to give us some great advice, especially what do we do tomorrow? What do we do the next day? What do we do the week after that? You know, what about next month? And I just really want to thank Dr. Becky Berg and her crew for coming over. She flew over last night. They made themselves available first thing in the morning and basically just said, what do you need? We're here to help you.
How long will you guys be providing counseling services for families and students, and of course faculty and staff?
As long as they need it. As long as they need it.
Superintendent, where were you when you got the news, and what was the first thing that, tell us about your personal experience once this happened?
Well, Deputy Ron Nye and I were actually down at the elementary school. Most of our kids had been dropped off that morning already, and we had just done a lockdown fire drill the day before as an entire campus. And the siren went off for a lockdown. We got the kids at the elementary in quickly. A lot of the high school students were running down from the high school towards the elementary. We got them in, and myself and Deputy Nye went up very quickly to the high school. He jumped into the high school, and I did kind of a little perimeter check, and then I followed him into the high school.
How did that siren get activated?
You know, I believe it was a lockdown initiated at the high school. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty confident.
Push a button to make that.
Yes, yes they do, and it's as simple as a push of a button. Yeah.
When a complex scene like this, the why is never an easy answer.
Right.
And there's many reasons. Sheriff Ozzie Knessovich gave a press conference this morning. I'm not sure if you saw it, but he very clearly laid blame on cultural issues. Do you share those views, or you must be also contemplating some of the whys?
You know, I think you always contemplate the whys when you have a tough situation, and you want to make sure that you're keeping your focus on the kids and the staff. And you know, it's going to take us a long time to process through this, and we're going to spend a lot of time talking through this and how do we continue to provide a safe environment, a great environment for kids. And so yes, I believe that will be a process.
You described Joe Bowen as a hero. He's an Army vet. Can you kind of walk us through what he did?
You know, I don't know if I know all of the details of what Joe did. I don't even know if I would be doing it a service to share all of what he did. I just know that Joe did what Joe does every day, and that's that he was here for kids. He's always available. He happened to be where he always is when the school day starts, in the hallway with kids, checking in with staff and students and administrators. And knowing Joe like I do, Joe would be the first person to run to a difficult situation, and that's exactly what he did.
Following up on that, initially, like very early on, I heard that he tackled Caleb. And then I heard later on that he had more of a talking approach, where he kind of talked him down. And I'm just wondering if you can
You know,
characterize
I don't know enough about that particular question to answer it accurately, so I'll pass on that one.
Will he and Deputy Ron Nye be back at school when the students return on Monday?
That is sure our hope. I know that Joe Bowen would love to have the kids back right now. His heart is as big as the size of Texas, and he doesn't want to go another minute without seeing the kids. And I know that with the help of the Sheriff's Department, we'll obviously have a strong emphasis, from them, and a lot of help from them when we do get back to school.
So I know we have some events scheduled tomorrow night, including football. Are those canceled as well?
We are not making a decision on that quite yet. We want to get to tonight, check in with our kids, check in with the families, check again on the staff. We're going to have the staff come back out tomorrow. We're going to continue to help them kind of process and go through this, and then we'll make a decision. If you were to ask the students what they want to do, well, the students want to play football and be in a cheerleading uniform and come play in the band and be at the game. And so, I think we definitely need to take what the kids' opinions into consideration, because we're here for the kids. If the kids weren't here, we wouldn't be here. And we have a great group of high school kids. They are super responsible, very respectful, and I know that our administration and I really value their opinion, and I believe that tomorrow our administration is going to be meeting with the high school ASB, and I'm sure they're going to be talking about that. Yeah.
How would you describe the emotions of the injured students following your conversations just a few minutes ago?
Oh, upbeat, absolutely, very upbeat. Thankful, extremely thankful. Their family's extremely thankful. It was great to see all 3 girls smile, and I got to give each of them a hug and a kiss, and tell them I love them and I love their family, and being able to connect with their family, has been great. And so, to see their parents or grandparents in high spirits and see them in great spirits, I think it's uplifting to everybody, to be honest with you. And I know we're going to have a message tonight at our meeting from the 3 families. So I think that'll be a great way to share what they're thinking as well.
Do you have an estimate of how many students actually witnessed the shooting itself and were present in that hallway area to actually witness the shooting?
I do not. I know it was on the 2nd floor of the building, and so, typically at any high school, when you're starting the school day, kids are everywhere, and so that would just be a speculation on how many kids were there.
Would it be fair to say dozens were in that hallway at the time?
Yeah, I think it would be. Okay.
Any thoughts or reactions to one of your students having access to the weapons that the suspect allegedly had?
I can't comment on that. That. That's a FERPA piece, and as a minor.
But what about as someone who cares for kids as a superintendent?
Yeah. Well, I think that stands by itself. If you ask any of the kids that are here or any of the parents or staff members, you can ask them how I feel about those kids, and they'll give you an answer.
What can you tell us about Sam Strahan?
Sam Strahan was a really neat kid, quiet, and his sister was also here, and I'll just leave it at that. That is a very difficult piece to get into for me personally, but just a nice, quiet, polite kid. Okay, you guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up and go. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll see you tonight. Okay.
And that was the Freeman School Superintendent Randy Russell giving everyone an update. The first news to come out of that is the fact that they will resume school on Monday. And they also wanted to reiterate the fact that counseling is available for students, staff, and families. And when asked how long that would last, you heard the superintendent.
As long as they need it.
Yep, as long as they need it.
We also learned that they have not made a decision if there's going to be a football game Friday night. He said if it was up to the kids, they'd be playing.
Yeah.
So they're going to discuss that tonight at their meeting this evening with parents and students, families.
Right.